have the experience and learn from where you've been at, opposed to just staying there. Now, what I'm gonna do is take a little break, and like I said, Maaad As Hell gets into so many different topics and so many different real people. Once again, it's talking to real people, real facts, raw, uncut. But we'll be right back, and when we come back, we're gonna come back and talk to Angie about a few more things, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. So we'll be back 2 and 2.
You know, like I know, you'll go get tested. I know too many people that done got burned, STDs, for having unprotected sex. I know it could be embarrassing to tell your friends you're going to get an STD test or HIV test, but you got to do it. Let's stay safe. 877-611-9620. If you want it to be confidential, private place to go to, nobody knows about it, everything's clean. Get tested. Let's stop playing.
Then to find out that he was married.
Transsexual.
Huh?
He's transsexual.
He went through it all.
Yeah. I actually have the reports. I had a friend here in Atlanta, and I went and got his. When I was able to communicate, when I went back to my job that night, he locked me out, 11 o'clock at night. I called Claudette. I went there. I paid $75 for a report, and I got her phone number. And my first word was, "Claudette, please don't hang up. It's Angie." And her words, 3 months later, after talking with her, she said, "Angie, I got to tell you something." She says, "You got to do your research. Do your research on Karen Barodi." And when she said that, I didn't even know how to spell the name. All I knew was this Karen Barodi used to call here and there, and he used to make it sound like this young girl was trying to get his money, whatever, somebody he dated. I got somebody here in Atlanta to go and do a report on both of them. They lived together. When I got that report at Lending Tree, and it said male, born in 1978, Karen Barodi is really a Kevin Barodi. And they had, and this person that lived together had a boob job done, but still had a penis. And he called her up. That's what ended their marriage because of that. And that almost took me down. I literally went from,
incredible.
When you look at this picture on the back, I went from like, I mean, I almost lost it completely. I couldn't believe it. And then when he locked me out and I couldn't get to my clothes, when the cops finally, and I'm his wife of what, 4 years, when they finally let me go back in, I went and get those clothes out of my nightstand drawer, and I kept pulled all my stuff out. Here's a big dildo about this big. And I'm looking like, what the heck is this? But I knew he was having all these health problems, from his heart to polyps, a lot of bleeding, whatever. And then I find out this, and I'm like, he called me and he's like, "You took something out of that drawer." I'm like, "I took stuff out of my drawer. You better bring my stuff back. I bought that as a gag gift for somebody." Tell me, I still have them. I have that, and I have all of that in a box at home. I keep saying I'm gonna have a bonfire. That almost literally took me down. Took me down completely. And when the more I found out about it, I found he was giving himself shots. His penis. You know, there was so.
What were the shots for?
I guess to make get erections. I don't know. But
wow.
The last 2 years of our marriage, we didn't have sex at all, and that really brought things down. And he kept saying, "Well, you need to stay here and stay here." And then it had to deal with the unloading of guns. He'd empty the bullets on the bed, and it was like intimidating because I went through the rape, so he knew I was petrified of guns. It was just, he tried to literally make me lose my mind. The men I dealt with, they knew that I was sheltered. I had no family there. So they took the ball and ran with it. And literally took me through these changes where it almost broke me. But it reminds me of that song like Whitney Houston sings. You know, I wasn't born to break, you know. God he had a vision for me a long time ago as a baby to get through, and to look at me now, it's amazing to myself. When I look at myself, I'm like, I'm so strong. And do I hurt sometimes? I hurt because I wonder why my parents rejected me. But for the most part, I love myself. I'm very secure within. I love my kids. I'm proud of my kids and their college and what they're doing. And I thank God that he took me through these things to bring me to this point, which is helping many people out there. This book is all over this.
Now, it's funny because when I met you, I knew you were strong. You meet people very strong. I mean, your presence was very strong. And at first, I'm like, okay, what's wrong with her? You know what I mean? She's acting, kind of snooty, snotty, or whatever.
I say to myself.
But it wasn't that once I got to know you, you was a beautiful person. However, it's that what you've been to type of syndrome that's up. Like, I don't know who you are.
Exactly.
And based upon what I went through, everybody in my world treats me bad. You know what I mean?
Who do you trust?
Exactly. Who do you trust? Do you trust anyone right now outside of yourself?
Oh, I believe in trusting until given a reason, not me. But it's given me a strength now where I can pick up a good persona from somebody. I can pick up the good in a person, or is it somebody that's just trying to run that game down again? So it's made me very much. Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Let's do this then. You've dated a few different types of men. Okay, you've had men that that physically abused you. You've had men that were just the greatest thing since sliced bread to you, and then you found out some terrible things about them. Okay, what I'd like to know is this kind of, you know, tell our listening audience from the abuse to I met this wonderful man, the wonderful man is sick, to the you suffered first.
The abuse I suffered first was probably more of a mental, and it went
within your relationship with a man.
It went from a mental abuse with the hollering, the screaming. That's how it starts. It went from that to the physical abuse. Taking advantage of not having the strength of parents or anybody there to protect me. It went from the physical abuse to this guy that I really, well, the mental and the physical abuse, that gentleman right there, actually the biggest thing with that was not only did he hurt me, but taking my son at the age of 2 out of the country, just stealing him, and I didn't see him again until he was 10, and basically brainwashing so many things. Didn't only hurt me, but the emotional part of that bothered me. To meeting a man that I thought was just a godsend, the flowers every month, my arthritis, the massaging when I'm sore, but it was a control thing. At that point, he wanted nobody else in my world, me in his world, and that was it, and that was a problem.
So he pulled you in.
He pulled me in. He rung me in with that, and I loved him. Then it started coming out. Everything, all of the lies. I mean, everything from him dealing with transsexual to, I mean, just so many things that really, it almost broke me. It almost broke me to know that this is a man that I really loved with all my heart and trusted once again. And it doesn't have anything to do with the race, because I've been married to white, I've been married to black. But I just felt that this man here was a godsend. And now this man has even put the icing on the cake as far as my parents. I mean, up until August, this man goes and visits my mom and them, and they accept him, but all of them, come back and send me the meanest emails and the meanest, whatever way they can try to bring me down.
So how did he build a relationship with your parents that you don't have? How could he do that?
He did that because as long as we used to fly my parents in at times, trying to help her. I tried to make my mom get over the insecurities that she had and trying to build her up. But then when we went through and I started telling her, Mom, here's an email, and I sent this to her as proof, this man's dealing with a transsexual. My mom's words out of her mouth was, well, you should have stayed with him, at least you had a beautiful life, you could travel. I owe myself so much more than that.
Well, she was willing to accept it because she's done that before with your
father.
Exactly. Watching your father get an extension, watching your mother get an extension cord, you know what I mean? That's who she was as a person, and she probably won't change. Because she's probably mad at you because you're stronger than her.
Exactly.
So at 17, when your dad says your mom doesn't like you, she was jealous of you, or whatever, however that went, that was because you had showed signs of being much stronger than she was.
Exactly.
So now she doesn't like the person that you have become because she would have became that. Welcome back to our Maaad As Hell. We're sitting here with Angie Jennings. We are going through